Hey, Decide Your Destiny crew, Carl Spreedy's here. Thanks for joining me for another Decide Your Destiny Daily Dose. Decide to always show up. Whatever it is, whether it's for your life, whether it's for your family that you've committed to, whether it's for an event that you said that you're going to go to and it's going to be a great event for you, whether it's for a goal that you had and you've got to show up, and you've got to go out and you've got to run in the cold, blistering cold. Whatever it is that you've got to do, decide to show up in your life. Decide, come hell or high water, I'm going to show up. And that's a part of who I am. That's a part of me and that's a part of my strength. I'm going to make sure that I show up to this thing that I said I was going to do, show up to my predestined obligations like I should. And trust me, no matter how tired you feel, no matter how sore you feel, there's always rewards at the end of you showing up. There's always something better to be had at the end of you showing up. And you shouldn't do it just for that reason. You should do it because you're sticking to your word, because you value your self-worth, and the more that you kind of put out there that you're going to do and you don't achieve, obviously the more your self-worth comes down. So there's many reasons why you should show up in your life. But one thing to keep in mind is that, I can say personally for me, is that no matter the event, I've always been able to find resources out. I've always been able to find connections, opportunities, and also just a positive experience. And when you show up, in particular today, I showed up for an event, and it was raining. Perth got put into lockdown, then it was out of lockdown, but then face masks were back in. And for me personally, my cardiologist has made me exempt from wearing face masks. However, that hasn't made me comfortable going out, because the great thing about the Australian culture is that we all come together when there's a bushfire. We all come together and we support each other when there's something that we can kind of come together and help each other with. But on the polarization, on the opposite end of that, you can get a little bit of a pitchforky sort of environment, and so after hearing from people who are extreme asthmatics who can't wear the mask, or are exempt from wearing the mask, hearing that they've been had their baskets in the grocery store, people trying to take stuff out of the baskets and yelling at them, I just didn't feel very comfortable going outside without a mask. Even though I live at my on my own, and and it's good to get out of the house, I just didn't feel very comfortable. However, another lesson is to always put it out there. So I asked the person who's running the event, who's a close friend of mine, I said, this is the situation. Are you still okay for me to come along to the event? Keep in mind, I don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. And you go out and you obviously see what's happening online, you see stuff that's happening, and it's all magnified. But I went out to the event and it was a brilliant event. I'm so glad I went. It was all about more of your self-care, your health, your mindset, and it was brilliant. And also the people there, they were all okay with me. They all accepted me with open arms. And we all connected really, really well. It was a really, really solid event, and I'm so glad that I did show up. And I mean, that's the main message from this video, is that many times there's going to be many, many reasons why you think that you shouldn't show up, or why it might be better for you just to stay home, chuck the next episode on Netflix on, or do something else, put something else as a priority. But if you've committed to that and you've said, this is what I'm going to do, I highly, highly suggest that you show up, because you're just going to get so much back from it. And we are social beings, we are connecting beings, and it's important that we show up in our lives, and it's important that we show up for each other, because when we show up for each other, we show each other the value of each other, and we show each other of the value that we mean to each other. And that's really, really important, especially in the day that we live in today, and the age, and just having everything via text and social media and messaging. I think it's really important to show up, whether that's you have to do a Zoom call, or if you can in person. Showing up for each other is just such an important value that we can give to each other. So guys, remember, whatever's going on in your world, remember to show up each day for yourself, for your family, for your society, in the best way that you can. And I mean, another one is just to show up in terms of being considerate and inquisitive and asking people, why someone might not be wearing a mask, rather than running them down with a pitchfork. But anyway, guys, I hope you're all well, and always remember, decide your destiny. Cheers.